Hello everyone and welcome back to Rebirth. Today we will share some interesting facts around the world. There are 2 countries in the world where Coca-Cola does not exist. You might think Coca-Cola is something you can find anywhere in the world. But these 2 countries have been in long-term US trade embargoes, North Korea since 1950 and Cuba since 1962. No matter where you go, it's comforting to know you can always enjoy a Coca-Cola. Well, almost anywhere. However, some folks say you might be able to snag a sip of this stuff if you try hard enough, although it'll typically be a lot more expensive than what you would pay in the States, and probably imported from a neighboring country such as Mexico or China. However, North Korea has made its own dark-colored soda. They call it Ryonjin Cola, or Cocoa Sparkling. It has a similar red packaging and cursive font. But does it have the same great taste? China has only one time zone. Having a single time zone is fine if the sun rises and sets at the same time for everyone. However, as Beijing is preparing to go to bed at midnight, folks in Xinjiang are just beginning to watch the sunset. That's pretty wild considering how China is almost the size of the United States, which has 6 time zones. Interestingly, China did not always operate on Beijing time. Beijing Standard Time was only established in 1949, a decision by Chairman Mao Zedong in the name of national unity. Before that, in 1912, there were 5 recognized time zones that were 5.5 to 8.5 hours past Greenwich Mean Time. Luckily, working around one time zone is but a mild inconvenience to the Chinese. However, travelers planning to backpack through China should prepare for their body clocks to get a little confused. France is the most visited tourist country. Prior to the COVID pandemic, France was the most visited country in the world, attracting 88.1 million visitors in 2019 according to global data. Spain claimed the top spot in 2021, but France is on track to overtake it, having welcomed 66.6 million international visitors in 2022. The country is not only popular with travelers from Europe itself, especially the UK, Germany, and Belgium, but it is also popular with visitors from further afield, including China and the United States. Global data reports that the number of international arrivals in France is expected to grow at an annual rate of 12.1% between 2022 and 2025. The company has predicted that France will attract an estimated 93.7 million international travelers a year by 2025, cementing its title as the most visited country in the world. An espresso shot contains less caffeine than regular coffee. Common assumption seems to be that a shot of espresso has more caffeine than an average drip cup of coffee. I mean, isn't that why you only ever find hardcore coffee addicts ordering straight-up shots of espresso and Europeans? Many coffee purists swear by espresso, a form of coffee made by grinding the beans very finely and subjecting them to hot water at high pressure. Espresso has a more concentrated flavor, so it must have a higher concentration of caffeine, right? Well, kind of. Though, ounce for ounce, espresso does have more caffeine than a regular drip brew. A shot of espresso has 120 to 170 mg of caffeine, whereas a cup of coffee has 150 to 200 mg. In fact, it would take 2 to 3 espresso shots to equal the caffeine in a 16-ounce Starbucks coffee. The high five is a recent innovation. There is something so great about high fives. The sudden burst of energy and elation as you slap palms with a friend, colleague, or even a stranger in a mutual recognition or appreciation of that person or the situation you find yourselves in. Nothing says job well done as instantly as a high five. Participating in a high five immediately makes you complicit to the other person's reason for initiating the gesture. It seems like the simple gesture of one person slapping another's palm in victory must have been around forever. But in truth, it may even be younger than you are. At a pro baseball game in 1977, Dodger player Dusty Baker hit his 30th home run of the season. As he rounded home and passed his teammate Glenn Berg in the on-deck circle, Burke raised his hand in excited greeting. On instinct, Baker reached up and slapped it because he said it seemed like the thing to do. Thus, the high five was born. That's all from today's video. Please share the video with your friends and provide us with your valuable feedbacks in the comment section below. See you!